Hey guys, what's going on? Kelback here, once again representing the 40k YouTube channel, bringing you another Warhammer 40,000 related video. Today is an exciting day. Today we're going to do a roundup video of all the new models that came out in the preview yesterday on the 12th of September 2020 for all the new Necrons and the new Space Marine stuff in time. This video, I'll say from the beginning, will be just the Necrons because there was that many reviews, that many reveals that we're going to have to split the video up into two. So if you're not bothered about seeing the Necrons, turn off now. If you want to hear my dulcet tones and like the sound of my voice, you may stay all the way to the end. Thank you very much. But this one will be just for the Necrons. Like I say, doing it all would make the video very, very long. And it's better to split it into two for those who just want to see the Space Marine stuff. As always, big shout out to everyone who subscribed to the channel up to now. Thank you very much, guys, for all the likes and the comments and the shares and the subscriptions. Thank you all very, 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 very much. Massively appreciated. We're getting ever closer towards 400 subs, only like 20 away now, I think, by the last time I checked. And thank you very much as well who's been showing the love and support for myself, and more importantly for Call on Instagram at 40_Call, where you can go and check out some of the models that Cole's been painting, fantastic models, and giving them the love where it is very, very due, shall we say. Go check it out, 40_Call. With that said, let's get into this one. So this is all about the reveals and the previews, whatever you want to call it, about the Necron half of the preview weekend. So brace yourself. The preview is about to begin. In just a few minutes, we're going to learn more about the next generation of Warhammer 40,000 codexes than ever before. Hold on tight. It's going to be a wild ride. You can watch the feed right here. This is, of course, on Saturday, or reply to the event if you're arriving a bit late. And here we had Adam Troke and Eddie Eccles, who are two of the big wigs, two of the guys who do all the reviews and the reveals online. This was obviously recorded yesterday, and they do a fantastic job. Very, very knowledgeable guys and have a genuine passion for the hobby. Well worth going back and just having a quick watch. So the reveals kicked off, or say off in the past tense, at 2 p.m. British summertime to make sure you have drinks and snacks ready. So 2 p.m. Codex Necrons. Here's a codex worth waiting 60 million years in a tomb for. One of the first codexes to hit the shelves is Codex Necrons. And for the lore alone, it will be an unmissable read for every Warhammer 40,000 fan. Even with more brand new units on their way and an army-wide rules overhaul, this book will also be a literal game changer for the Necrons on the battlefield. And these quick videos, I've had a quick look at them. Some of these are funny. Check this out.
Tell me, immortal, have they left yet? No, sorry, my lord. They're back, and this time, their tanks float. Fine. Fetch the destroyers.
Very cool, very cool. And I will come out the box and say this straight away. These new Necron models are better. 100% better than the Space Marine ones. I'm getting out there now. Here we've seen it a few times, so we won't spend too much time on the new Necrons Codex. Starting with lore. So what's new with the Necrons lore? Well, for starters, their ancestral ruler, the Silent King, has returned from self-imposed exile. That's galaxy-shattering news. However, his reappearance has caused something of a crisis of faith among the dynasties, and not all have welcomed him back. The new codex also expands the lore of the the dynasty of the Silent King himself, and reveals the impact of their rise to prominence has had on the other Necron pharaohs and their dynasties. The book also showcases some stunning artwork that really helps to bring the Necrons to life. such as this incredible piece that sees numberless phalanxes assembling before the Silent King to pay homage. You know, the Silent King, obviously in the background there, surrounded by God knows how many Necrons. All the power's getting channeled into him, as you can see him in the distance there, the centre of that green glow. Stunning piece of artwork. Very, very tasty. So the rules. Speaking of this, I reckon they'll be receiving their own dynasty code. Uncanny, and I can never say this word, artificers, I think, which provides them with a significant edge, or 3 to be precise, in the battle. The codex even includes rules for creating your own dynasty codes too. Cool. So we've got Uncanny Artificers. So the Sarek dynasty exhibit a deep-rooted ability to fashion and maintain the finest war gear of any Necron dynasty. Enemy fire ricochets harmlessly from their magnificent android forms, while in return, every blast and blade stroke of the Sharek level at their enemies is lethal in the extreme. So first point. Each time a model with this code would lose a wound as a result of a mortal wound, roll a d6. On a 5+, that wound is not lost. Very cool. 5+ feel no pain on mortal wounds. Each time a unit with this code is selected to shoot or fight, you can re-roll 1 wound roll when making the unit's attack. Now that is per unit, and there is a similar rule that you can use when building your own custom Space Marine chapter, and it's very good. So you're allowed to re-roll 1 shoot, or a shoot in a fight. You can re-roll a 1 wound, making the unit attack. When the protocol of the Undying Legions becomes active for your army, if every unit in your army, excluding Dynasty Agent and Catan Shard units, has this code, you can select both of that command protocol's directives instead of just one. Very tasty. More flexibility, more options. Very, very good. Okay. So, keep going. Well, what about all this talk of command protocols? Well, consider it one of the perks of biotransference, which enables Necrons of high status to impose their will upon those who serve them. It may sound harsh, but don't worry. For you, this is definitely a good thing. Here's how it works. If your army of Necrons all hails from the same dynasty, which it really should, to be honest, and is led by a character with the noble keyword, then at the start of the game, you can secretly assign one of 6 command protocols to utilize during each battle round. After revealing your selected command protocol, you'll need to choose which directive you will activate. Any of your units within 6 inches of your characters will then benefit from the directive. With careful strategy and forethought, command protocols can really throw off your opponent while giving you a massive advantage. Protocol of the Conquering Tyrant. The legions employ the strategies of their masters in perfect synchronicity, laying down hills of mechanically coordinated fire. So Directive 1. Add 3 inches to the range of units' aura abilities to a maximum of 12 inches, and increase the range of the following abilities that units have by 3 inches to a maximum of 12 inches. Lord's Will. My will be done. Rites of Reanimation. Very, very cool. And if you go with the Sharek Dynasty, you can obviously use both of these as well. Directive 2. This unit is eligible to shoot and turn at which it fell back. But if it does, then the unit... then until the end of the turn, each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack, subtract 1 from the hit rolls. Very good. So it gives you more flexibility of moving and shooting backwards. Very cool. The mysterious Cryptex are about to bring another string to your Tashon bow. Okay, so a Tashon arrow doesn't need a bow to fire, but you catch our drift. In fact, they're about to bring 4 strings. There are now 4 fully fledged varieties of Cryptex, divided accordingly into their hyper-technological specialization, and each benefits from their own datasheet, replete with a plethora of thematic rules. The Plasmancer that made its debut in Dominus was just the start. Furthermore, they can be given an item of Cryptex Arcana for a nominal cost in power or points, representing the wondrously stoic techno-magic of the ancient Necron Empire. Not only can these items be very handy in a tight spot, but they offer a versatile way to top up and round out your army list. As a master of temporal, as a master of temporal manipulation, a Chronomancer, for example, can be equipped with a means to slow your enemies to a crawl at crucial moments. But more on those later. We have counter temporal nanomines. Okay. Released from a hive gem about the bearer's person, a swarm of nanoscarabs sweep out in and lance the ground before them with microscopic temporal charges. Foes advancing into this invisible minefield find it really shuddering and glitching around them as they trigger 1 minute chrono fault after another. My new chrono fault after another. So for Chronomancer model only, in your shooting phase, you can select one enemy unit within 8 inches of the bearer. Until the start of the next turn, half advance rolls and charge rolls for that unit. Very cool if you're coming up against speedy units. They're going to be halved all over the place, slowing them down. Very, very cool. Okay. Necrons on Crusade. One of the most exciting features of Warhammer 40,000's newest and best ever editions is the narrative-driven Crusade campaign system. The awesome thing is that every new codex is going to have a section dedicated to providing that faction with loads of new and wonderful thematic options just for Crusade. We defy anyone to read this section of their codex and not immediately want to start a Crusade campaign seriously. You can look forward to faction-specific agendas, requisitions, battle traits, Crusade relics, and in the case of the Necrons, even distinct epithets. Okay. Bespoke titles that offer unique upgrades or abilities. Here's one such example. The slow decay of the self-requisition, which represents a character succumbing to the mindless lust for violence embraced by the Destroyer cult. So for 1 RP, you can have the slow decay of the self. Purchase this requisition after a battle in which your Crusade army contained 1 or more units of the Destroyer cult's keyword. Select one Lord or Overlord model that was also part of the Crusade army. Remove the model from your order of battle and replace it with a Destroyer cult's character model from the same dynasty. You cannot purchase this requisition if doing so would cause your total power level to exceed your Crusade force supply limit. The newly added Destroyer Cult character model starts with the same number of experience points as the character it replaced, and immediately gains the appropriate number of battle honours for its rank. If, like us, the basic Crusaders of Warhammer 40,000 Kubik were already pretty rad, you're going to love all the extra narrative goodies in the new codexes. We mentioned the Silent King earlier, and unless you've been slumbering in the tomb world for countless eons, you no doubt have seen the jaw-dropping model of Sharek that's coming soon. Here it is. I will actually minimise that because it's better on the big screen. He has a Catan shard in the background. Fabulous looking model with the colours and the greens and the blues. Looking very regal and royal with his long flowing like nano cape with 2 bodyguards next to him and those floating obelisk things that I can't remember the name of, but it's a fantastic looking model from start to finish. I would love to see this painted up by like a talented painter, and just to see it in the flesh would be very, very cool to look at. And there is the Silent King. You've probably been chomping at the bit to find out what he's actually like on the battlefield, and we can't blame you. Well, suffice it to say, he's utterly terrifying. But then he is the leader of the entire Necron race. Is accompanied by 2 other Pharaons completing the triarch, and has the limitless power of a bound Catan at his disposal. For that, so that's fair enough, really. However, we will treat you with a few highlights. And we get highlights in the form of wounds. So Sharek has up to 16 wounds. If he's at his full complement, he will move 8 inches, weapon skill, ballistic skills 2+, strength 5, toughness 7. He will get 6 attacks, leadership 10, and save on a 3+. And as you can see, it goes down and down and down until he's in his lowest tier of 1 to 4. And we've got the Triarchal Menhir, which moves 8 inches. Weapon skill is 6+, ballistic skill 2+, strength 5, toughness 7, wounds 5, attacks 1, leadership 10, saves under 3. That's a pretty hefty stat line and no mistake. What's more, it's backed up with a whole swathe of special rules, including aura abilities to buff your troops and hamper your opponent's units. They can also help you destroy your enemies in a variety of ways, improve the Silent King's durability, and generally make him perhaps the most formidable character in all Warhammer 40,000. We will, however, treat you to one full datasheet, but before we do, let's look at the models first. Meet the, I'm trying to pronounce this, Offridian Destroyers. Yes, got that right, wasn't. Starting with this one here. A more slender looking destroyer, missing its bottom half, but more claws and weapons, and it's moving about on its spine by the look of it. I bet he's got good health insurance for backache. Let's have a look at a different one. See there. Just the blades on its arms. Very, very, very powerful looking model. Try to get the next one. There we go. This one has more claws and more blades. Very, very cool. And there might be a fourth one. Yes, and here we've got the little what do you call them? Plasmacyte or something that follows them around and injects them with roids and gets them all pumped up. So this horrifying breed of burying destroyers comes complete with a multi-part plasmacyte in its kit. Well, we say burying, but rather than tunneling underground in the traditional sense, these murderous machines tear their way through the veil of reality from their own pocket dimension and slice and dice their prey. Check out their datasheet to see how they shape up. And here we have them. You can have 3 to 6 in a squad. They move 10 inches, so very quick. Weapon skill, ballistic skill is 3+, strength and toughness is 4, 3 wounds apiece, 3 attacks apiece, leadership 10, saves under 4. And then if it contains more models, the power rating goes up. And we have Hyperphase Reap Blades. All melee weapons, but the Reap Blade is strength 2, AP -4, flat 3 damage. Very, very tasty. The Hyperphase Threshers, also melee weapons, strength user, strength 4, AP -3, 2 damage each. But each time the bearer fights, it makes 1 additional attack with this weapon. So if you're going to use that on its own, it would be a total of 6 attacks. And we've got the Offridian Claws. Melee, strength is 4, AP -1, 1 damage. Each time the bearer fights, it makes 2 additional attacks with this weapon. So lots of attacks, lots of options going out there. Very, very cool. It'd be good to see and get them on the board to see which weapons work well against what. The abilities it has is Living Metal, Reanimation Protocols, Command Protocols. Hardwired for Destruction. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll hit roll of 1. Okay? So hitting on 3s, rerolling the 1s. Hyperphase Reap Blades. Each time a model with this unit makes an attack with a Hyperphase Reap Blade and a modified hit roll of 6, scores 1 additional hit. So basically, exploding 6s. Very good. Whip Coil Bodies. Each time a melee attack is made against this unit, subtract 1 from the attack's hit roll. Obviously, with it having no lower part, they must be able to move very quick and dodge a few attacks. Tunneling Horrors. During deployment, you can set up this unit underground instead of setting up on the battlefield. If you do, then during your reinforcement step of one of your movement phases, you can set up the unit anywhere on the battlefield that are 9 inches away from the enemy models. So the faction keywords are Necrons, Dynasty, whatever dynasty you're going to pick. Keywords, Infantry, Destroyer, Cult, Ophidian Destroyer. So those are very, very naughty, very tasty models. They can cause a lot of hassle. If there's 6 of those in a unit, those are going to be coming up, slashing things to pieces, dealing out the death, and I can see them being a big pain in the arse come game time. Cool, huh? What's more, they're not the only new Necron units on the way. Take a look at new flayed ones, reimagined in glorious plastic. Been a long time since these guys got the love, since the flayed ones had new models. Flayed ones obviously have the flare virus, where they like to slash their opponents apart and wear their skin. Yep. So we've got bits of arms and that, bits of flesh hanging off them. Come on to the next one. One's even wearing a face. You know, the flare virus, horrible, horrible disease that affects the Necrons. Makes these murderous things already, or even madder than they already are. So with a revised datasheet for the new edition, the flayed one's long flare claws can shred armour with even greater ease, as they now strike with an AP of -1. And as one would expect for a unit whose rather gruesome modus operandi sees them cover their metallic bodies in a macabre second skin made from the flented flesh of their victims, they're at their best when killing squishy stuff. And we have Flesh Hunger. Each time a model in the unit makes a melee attack against an enemy non-vehicle unit, a modified hit roll of 6 scores 1 additional hit. So once again, exploding 6s. Can't go wrong with that. It's about time we showed you the aforementioned Chronomancer, if you'll forgive us for the dodgy pun. This looks awesome. I love the look of this model. It's the mixture of colours and shapes and geometric shapes and stuff like that. So we have like the rod, the staff, whatever we're going to call it, obviously. The tentacles on the bottom, the round sphere at the top, but then it's offset by the square chrono cubes that might be able to bend time or something. Very, very cool looking model. I was excited when I first saw this. Cracking looking model. Well done, GW. Chronomancers are masters of time and temporal manipulation. One of their favourite party tricks, what is a battle if not a glorified party, is to utilise the Chronometron they each bear to slow the incoming fire of their enemies, allowing their warriors to effortlessly avoid them. And we have the Chronometron. In your command phase, you can select one friendly dynasty unit within 9 inches of the model. Until the start of your next command phase, you can re-roll charge rolls made for that unit, and models in that unit have a 5+ invulnerable save. Cast that on a big unit of just normal warriors that have reanimation protocols. They're going to be even more of a pain to shift off the board. 5+ invulnerable saves on anything. Any sort of invulnerable save in the new edition is good, but the more units you can put that on, the more models you can put that on in one turn, the better. And while we're on the topic of Cryptex, here's an incredible new Psychomancer miniature too. This looks cool. This looks mint. I would have loved to see the angle a little bit more to the left so you can get that idea of the skull that it's summoning. This is a cool looking model just on its spines. It has no legs. Loads of detail in. I can't fault this at all. Long rod, summoning like a techno skull to come and devour people. Cracking. Love it. Love it to bits. I love the blues as well. I'm a big sucker for like ice blues and greens. Don't know why. They say Space Marines know no fear, but they've not yet met this dread from form of Cryptex. These Necrons, Techno Arcana Mastery is over fear itself. By channeling the same dread power for which the Nightbringer was so greatly feared, it can cause even the most stoic foes to flee in terror before it. And we've got the Nightmare Shroud Aura ability. While an enemy unit is within 6 inches of this model, subtract 1 from the leadership characteristic of models in the unit, and subtract 1 from the combat attrition tests taken for that unit. And all that and more is on its way for the Necrons, and that's only the first was the first of yesterday's preview. Next we go on to Space Marines. But like I say, Space Marines will get covered in another video. Will get covered in the next video once I have edited this, put some words to it, a little bit of art, and put it out there. So thank you very much to everyone who is still here at the end. If you are new to 40k, we post Warhammer 40,000 content every single day. Things like news, hints, tips, reviews, painting videos, unboxing videos, lore videos. Basically, guys, we love 40k. We know you do too. So subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification because we do a lot of videos, and keep up to date with everything that we do. And if you would graciously like to go follow us on Instagram, you can do that by going and searching for 40_call and have a look at some of the models that me and predominantly Call knock out. But that's going to be it, guys. Please like the video and share the video and subscribe if you have not. But most importantly, give some comments, guys. Out of everything that we've seen today in the Necrons review and preview, or whatever you want to call it, what is your favourite model? Mine has got to be this, the Psychomancer. It's just different. It's up on his spines with the skull coming out. This is my #1 choice out of everything. But what are yours, guys? Let me and Cole know. We love reading your comments and we reply to every single one. And we look forward to doing that in this video. But that's going to be it, guys. Thank you all very, very much for watching. Stick around and watch our next video, which will be about the Space Marine half of the previews. And we hope to see you there. But that's going to be it. Thank you very much for watching. This is Kel, signing off for 40k, saying stay safe, look after each other, and until next time, guys, we'll see you all later.